Gentlemen, welcome back to the shop. Today for you, a treat, a special. I think I heard that somewhere once. So, we're back with the number 9 here in the back shop. And if you can probably guess, it didn't run right. I know, no shock there. But, as you know, I've been having problems with the burner in this locomotive. And the burner not running right, the fire being in the smoke box, just lots of issues with the boiler staying lit and making pressure. And to give you a background on this engine, as I said in one of my other videos, this was a new Ruby kit that was put together, and then this Forney kit was added later on. So this is essentially a new engine. I can't think I've had more than... I've never had a real successful run with it. And I don't know. It's just never really run right, as I've said before. So I was having the trouble of the time. I ordered a new jet for the burner. And I installed it the way it said to install it. And as you saw in my previous videos, it would kind of run, but not run well, and then the fire would go out, and it just wasn't building any pressure or any steam. And I sat here and I wondered, and I said, geez, it's all the way up against its stock fittings, it's where it should be. And then I sat here and I stared at it for a little bit, and I said, wait a minute, that's not a jet in a burner. That nozzle is a carburetor. And when I thought about the issue as a carburetor, what I was doing was I was running this way too lean. So you have your, pardon the terrible diagram, but you have your gas line come in to the fitting. Here is the burner tube here, and these are holes drilled out, and this is the nozzle. Well, when I installed this, I just put it right to the back, like right where the factory setting should be, and it was up tight against there. I permatexed it with the high temperature sealant, and I said, oh, I got a new nozzle and it should run fine. And then, as you saw in my other videos, it ran like crap. It just wouldn't stay lit. So, and I wasn't making any boiler pressure with it. It was just running very poorly. So I started thinking, instead of burner and nozzle, think of it like a carburetor. Now this has an adjustment. You can screw it in, and through trial and error, I would unscrew the jet so it got closer to that intake hole for the air, which richened up the mixture that was fired down the burner. And, like I said, through trial and error, I'm not sure it's the exact way to do it, but it's the way I did it, and it's the way that I found worked. As your gas comes into the fitting, but because this is screwed out, the mixture ratio going down your burner is a little bit better. It's a little bit richer. It's not being too much air and not enough fuel, and past here be too much fuel and not enough air. So it's kind of like Goldilocks and the Three Pigs. This is kind of a sweet spot in the area here. So this also broke the other day when I was running it, because I decided to carry the locomotive outside and not use the nice wooden holder I made for it. So door frames happen, and you know, that's just some epoxy. Later on we'll take care of that. But if you look, this is what I'm talking about in here. Might be hard to see with the Johnson bar in the way, but if you look there, you can see the nozzle protruding out just past those holes, and that that is the sweet spot for this engine to run. And so after I figured that out, I brought it outside with my newly minted Victory. And my locomotive running nice. It's nice fire. Get that better on camera. That pulsating will clear up in about a minute once I find the proper level. It's hard to do on camera. So now that's quieted down. The locomotive. She makes a boiler pressure. So we get that nice, steady, even flame inside the firebox. It's not burning out here in the smoke box like it was. Luckily, the smoke box never really sustained much damage. So, but yeah, so we solved that problem, and just in time to make another one. I'm going to shut this off because we're going to be working on this, and I don't want it to be too hot. So, get it outside, and I got 40 pounds of boiler pressure. It's holding steady. The safety's lifting constantly, so it's got a good evaporation rate. I'm making plenty of steam, and this locomotive could barely on tangent track pull itself. So, back to the drawing board. I bring it in. I nick up some more paint on it, because again, I'm not using that nice wooden holder that I built for it. And I go on the internet and I start looking around, and I started to read, and also found on YouTube, someone in England named Someone's Chuffer, who probably makes that chuffer unit in this engine, that he did a video on a Ruby that he bought. And he said that the O-rings in this cylinder were worn, and I said, maybe, because what's happening is you'd have pressure, you'd open up the throttle, the steam would go hissing down, you'd see, plenty of steam coming out, but, as Dave Ramsey says, kind of big hat, no cattle. So, it wasn't really doing anything. It was just making a lot of noise and making a lot of steam. And steam should only be coming out of the stack when this is working, not sitting static. So I checked out the timing, and the other side was fine. This side needed a little bit of an adjustment, so we're actually going to go to bottom dead center. I'm sorry if you can't see that on the camera. And that mark could go in just a little bit. And then we'll take our comically small crescent wrench. Just give that the slightest tightening. And I'm starting to think, well, this was an unfinished kit. The guy that I got it from probably ran it dry, and it probably worked on the tabletop. And that's the other thing too, is when I tabletop test this engine, the wheels spin fine, but the minute you put them on a load on the track, it's not developing any power, which leads me to believe, one, either it's a timing issue, and that's going to be a whole separate video into itself, or the O-rings inside these cylinders are bad, or they're missing. I can't imagine with a new engine there's much wear on them. I think we're going to find out together if they're even in there. So, in the interest of science and not embarrassing myself on the internet, I already removed the E-clip for this piston. Now, I'm not doing both at the same time for obvious reasons, so this thing is completely not timed. But, I mean, just... there's not a lot of resistance there. And also, there's a good amount of residue underneath that cylinder. So, I'm going to adjust the camera, and together we're going to take apart the cylinder or the piston rod on this engine and find out what's actually in there making it tick. Alright, I readjusted the camera, and here's my nut driver. I think I said in another video, or maybe I haven't, but invest in these. They're little tiny nut drivers, and you need them for that. And usually the set comes with these micro Allen keys, but to do this type of work you need it. So let's... oh, that came out easy. Don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. Alright, I'll put this screw over here so I can lose it later. And this one is going to be difficult, aren't you? Ah, there we go. Alright, and stripping off a fastener, and 5, 4, 3. Let's see, how do we get you off of there? Ah, that's probably broken. Oh, no, it worked. Sometimes it ain't how you talk to her, it's how you tickle her. I'll put that over there so I can lose it later. And let's take a look in here. Huh. The O-ring's there. So I don't... I mean, it's there, but it's really not, you know? Huh. Not sure if that is supposed to be like that. I don't know, that O-ring doesn't really seem like it seals very well. Just kind of flopping around in there. And also, it doesn't look like it's focus. Thank you. I don't think it actually even sticks out beyond the piston wall. Oh, let's take a look inside that cylinder and see how gouged up it actually is. Not too bad, actually. Some residual water. Alright, well, judging what I know about O-rings, which isn't a lot, I'd say that, just looking at that from the back, it doesn't stick out at all. think that's going to be the issue. I think. This copper bushing over here also, so I can lose that later on. All right. That there. So, and since we're under here, we'll take a look at the timing. Accucraft, according to the book, this is the top dead or bottom dead center. These should be slightly off from each other. And it looks like they are. So, Johnson bar is going in right up to the mark there in that oil. So, all right, let's order some replacement piston rings and do another video. Thanks for watching, guys, and please click like and subscribe and share this video with your friends. Thanks. Bye.